All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 143. Got the big Wanderer back from his big trip to Florida. Say hello, Wanderer.
Glad to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying your day or whatever activity you got going on.
Yeah, so you had some activities in Florida. First off, how does it feel to be back in the cold weather of New York as opposed to Florida?
It's not too bad. I mean, I kind of embrace all the different climates. So I'll take 50. 50's not bad. Especially today, we might be touching 55. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're done for today of it getting any warmer. I'll definitely take 50. It was actually nice with the sun out. It felt good.
With the sun, I mean, it's always a bit nicer.
This morning was I don't know if you walked this morning. I hope you did.
I did.
Good. Then you know it was pretty brisk out there today. It's brisk, baby.
By the time I was walking, it wasn't too bad. But when I first went out to meditate, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little chilly for sure.
I woke up and I'm like, I have the windows open. I'm like, woof. And I was like, even I got a little bit of a chill. And I'm like,
that's surprising because you're like Mr. Sub-Zero.
Yeah, and I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh man, 36 degrees. I was like, and I was gonna wear shorts, and I was like, I don't even think I could wear shorts today. I was like. So I threw on the pants and I got out there and whatever, did what I had to do, hit the
big
PT.
boy pants on and got after it.
Yeah, man. With that being said, there was before we get to who didn't put their big boy pants on yesterday.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking
right.
about.
You got any cool stories from Florida?
Yeah, just it was a nice little getaway. Shout out to my friend Adam and his parents, David and Paula. Couldn't have felt more welcome.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah, just the weather was perfect. It was like 70 the first 2 days. Then it was like mid-80s the last day. Not too bad.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice weather.
Got to go out on his dad's boat.
Big boat?
Huh?
Big boat?
Big enough.
Good.
Which was great, and yeah, just spent a lot of time in the pool.
That's great.
Definitely some hydrotherapy.
That's great.
And yeah, also went on like an eco tour with animals and stuff, which was very cool. Yeah.
And I see that you have all your fingers, so an alligator didn't get to you.
Digits,
yeah,
so
man.
I got that going.
I mean, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure there's plenty of those stories.
Be careful.
People coming back like this.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Chubs. I mean, Chubs.
Yeah, exactly right.
Chubbed out.
Chubbs got killed twice. I mean, got hurt twice by an alligator. That's great. I'm glad you had a good time, bro. That's awesome. I can't remember the last time you've been on a vacation.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So I was overdue. So I think I'm gonna try and make this more of a frequent.
Yeah, like once a quarter would be nice.
Yeah.
If you could pull it off.
Who knows?
At least twice a year you should be going away. I think that for anybody, like
it's a good
number. Like unless like you're super rich and you can go away whenever you want, or you have business like some of our friends do in all these different places, and you're always traveling.
Jet setting.
Yeah, but like two trips a year.
Minimum.
Yeah, solid. It's a solid number. You know what I mean?
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. But if you do more, by all means, go right ahead.
Hey, listen. You never know how it's gonna go. Sometimes I guess you can get away more.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you get some decent deals or you get hooked up places. You never know.
There you go. Some endorsements. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. We'll see. Only time will tell with that one.
That's right, baby.
So you mentioned big boy pants.
I did.
So the Knicks. I don't know if you saw Saturday's game, and I'll be completely honest with you. I saw the abridged version because I literally totally forgot it was on Saturday night.
I did not, but I did see that they were up for most of the game, and then that they almost blew it at the end, which seems to kind of be like a theme for them that seems to have continued into last night's game where it actually came back to haunt them.
Yes. So yeah, we won't even talk about Saturday. For me, the only thing I would say is they won. Good for them. It was a good first game to just go out there and take the W. But you have to follow it up with the next game. And listen, if you play really well and lose, so be it.
Right.
I watched the game yesterday on and off. So like I saw the majority of the first half and a portion of the last, basically the last quarter, right?
Okay.
I missed the third quarter, which was extremely important because Cat was very dominant in that third quarter. A lot of things I heard today, talking to people, just shooting the shit, is that, and to me, from what I saw yesterday, it's pretty true. Like, they go in those little ruts. Like, they get up a bunch, then all of a sudden they let the team get right back in there. And if you could equate that to other sports, that's never a good thing, because bad things always happens when you let teams that shouldn't have a chance to win and you give them a chance to win.
Right, you let them go on runs. It's eventually gonna come back to get you.
Correct. So that's point one. Two, I don't know what the coach is thinking. What's his name? Mike Brown, I think it is.
Yeah.
The only beef I have with him is you look at the flow of the game. And the flow of the game is they're up 10 or 12 or whatever, then they come back down to earth and it's almost tied, or they're up by 1 or whatever, and then they go back up again, and it's like this seesaw, a roller coaster ride of a game. But, the point of the coach, and this might be literally the most important thing, is you go either quarter to quarter or half to half. What was working? Especially at halftime, you got to be like, okay, what worked well, and then what didn't when they got back? And, that's what you have, a whole row of coaches for. Someone's going to be paying attention to these things, because I don't expect one guy, while he's making substitutions, doing this, yelling out plays, whatever, to see everything all at once. So I'm not going to fully blame it on him, but you've been doing this long enough. You have to understand what's working and what's not. That's the only way the Knicks are going to get through any team, let alone the Hawks, who they're playing right now.
Right.
To me, it looked like, Cat was killing it. They had no answer for him in the paint. So you get to the fourth quarter, and he didn't take a shot once in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And he had a monster third quarter. So to me, you're not realizing what's going on right in front of you. You know what I mean? And maybe that's the players, maybe it's the coach, maybe it's a little bit of both. Like, maybe he was telling them, get the ball to him, get the ball, and they weren't, because I think they said the last 2.5 minutes of the game, Jalen Brunson just decided, I'm going to take every shot. And that's it. And he literally took almost every shot, or unless he got into some weird trouble, and then maybe someone else took a shot. Like, I can't really recall off the top of my head. But it looks like he wanted the ball in his hands, and it didn't work out. He got sloppy. He was making bad passes. They were stealing the ball, and they let them right back in. You can't only score 15 points in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. Right. You know what I mean? And then 0 points in or to only take 2 or 3 shots in the last 2 minutes of the game and score just a couple baskets. Because you're going to lose. You know what I mean? These teams are decent enough that they made the playoffs to capitalize if you're not going to hit baskets. And then you had OG missing 2 free throws back-to-back. Just some...
Oh, at the end of the game.
Yeah, just some bad shooting from other guys, Bridges and whatever. Where, you got to make these shots. You're getting paid all this money. You got to come up big. And you're at home. To me, the difference between the two teams is Atlanta's looking great, coming out winning the second game and going home 1-1. And once again, the Knicks have question marks. What are you doing? They had not a chance to put them away because it wasn't the final game, but huge to steal 2 games in your home court and then go on the road. Because then you have somewhat of breathing room. I don't want to say you should lose the next game, but you know what? If you lose, you're still up 2-1. Then you regroup and you go after game 4 and you win game 4, and then you're that much closer to knocking them out. Now it's do or die. Maybe not really, maybe I'm being over dramatic because I haven't watched them all year.
You have to win this next.
But you have to win. You're the favorite. You need to win game 3, hands down, and convincingly too. There were other teams that were playing that did similar things to what the Hawks did. I think the Timberwolves was one of them. They were down 19 and came back and won.
Yeah, so that series is 1-1, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are 1-1 to be honest with you, which fair. That's good for basketball, right? Because you at least get a game 5 out of it so far, and you might even get a game 6, which is good for them to put more people in the seats and more people to see the games. But some of these teams can't mess around. And I think the Knicks fall under that category, at least for me.
I agree.
Because they do that, like you said earlier, they do that too much.
Yeah.
And I hope
it's a weakness for them.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be, because they have a lot of talent. I just don't know, and this is why I blame the coach a little bit. I don't know he knows how to harness the talent. and they go on these runs at times where they're unstoppable, and then they fall back down, I guess, to earth, and then they do dumb shit. Like, I don't know if that's like their mentality or whatever, or I don't want to say laziness or lack of hustle, whatever, but they need for, 48 minutes? Is it 12-minute quarters, I think?
Right.
Yep. Balls to the wall. Like, they have enough depth on that bench to circle guys in and out and make plays and, put that nail in the coffin, so to speak, And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Game 3. I think it's on Thursday.
6:30 start.
6:30, so it's early.
I love.
Yeah, well, then you know what? I better hear that you watched that whole game next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely watch. There's a lot of commercials
Right.
and stuff, so I'll definitely,
I'll get the first half in for
half
sure.
For sure.
I'll see what I can do with the rest.
It depends. I mean, there's a lot of ads, and
It shouldn't be more. Listen, it should end around 9:30. Let's just say.
9:30. That's kind of late, man.
I know, but you know what? Like, maybe they need some of your aura. You know what I mean, and some of your goodwill and good vibes. So maybe.
Okay.
You show them a little
Right.
fight, and maybe they'll show you a little fight right back.
Like,
Yeah,
just will it.
Yeah, maybe you don't even have to will. Maybe that they'll know that you're watching them
Right.
instead of you're losing, like, a half hour of sleep means the world to them, and they're going to win that game.
So maybe that'll pick them up.
Correct. You can do a bunch of different things for them, but picking them up is one, for sure. So, it's on you. So now if Thursday they lose, and I call you, like, did you stay up all night? And you're like, no, I went to bed. It's on you.
Because I didn't motivate.
Correct.
They
They need everybody. They need everybody.
Game plan.
They need everybody right now. Like I'm tired of having
all
New York
hands
losers.
on deck.
I'm tired of having New York losers. So if we got to stay up and watch it a little bit later, so be it.
Everybody's got to make sacrifices.
Exactly. And then speaking of losers, let's transition to the Mets.
I think yeah.
Okay.
You might have been going there.
Oh boy, bro! I don't even know where to begin with these guys. So
well, I mean, they didn't play last night, so they couldn't have lost. So
right, that's a positive.
They've got that going for them.
That's a positive. Speaking of which, rewind for a minute. Did you see who was at the Knicks game yesterday?
I did not.
Uncle Stevie Cohen.
Was he?
Yeah, with a Mets hat on. Everyone's dogging this guy on the radio
I was
right
gonna
now.
say there may have been a few boos, maybe.
I don't know if there were boos there, but
a few jeers.
But the people on the radio and everything like that is like, this guy, since he was talking crap about the Mets, he's 0-11 for the Mets and 0 for 1 for the Knicks. He's bringing the bad juju into the garden. I was like, you know what? He may not be wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Then I don't
Put
know.
him in the bathroom.
Yeah, like get him out of here. And he's like, he's wearing the Mets hat. Like, you don't think we don't know?
Put a towel over
Yeah. Like, we don't know you own the Mets. We get it, guy. You don't have to wear the Mets hat. And that's all he wears. Do you ever see that? He always just wears the Mets hat. I don't ever see him in like a Mets jersey, a Mets t-shirt, sweatshirt.
So you're not sure how loyal he is.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why always the hat? Like me, I go to a game, and I get it, whatever. He's a billionaire, and he's up in the suites or whatever. But I go to a game, I at least wear the hat and some sort of shirt. You know what I mean? I don't think I have any shorts of any of the teams or pants. But, I try and match. Like, I'll, whatever. Call me crazy, but that's just
You don't
right.
have any pinstripe pants?
I do not. I do not.
Just-
I used to.
Just wondering.
I used to have actually baseball pinstripe pants, which were really nice. I look good in pinstripes. Just saying.
I bet.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Oh man, but yeah, bro. The Mets do not look good. They're going for either their first win or 12th loss in as many days.
Who are we playing tonight?
That's a good question. Let's take a look at it. I think they're playing someone crappy, to be honest with you. Let's see. Oh, they're playing the Twins. So the Twins are 11-11.
All right, we got a chance.
Yeah, not terrible. I mean, compared to the Mets, the Twins look like superstars. So they have one of the worst records in baseball right now, the Mets, which is...
Yeah, well, I mean, you lose 11 in a row, I would say that's...
Yeah.
They got to be in the running.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, too? The Royals are a half a game worse than them, which I didn't even know. They're 7-16, and they lost 8, partially because they got swept by the Yankees, thankfully. But we'll get to that.
The Yankees seem to have turned it around.
Well, we'll talk. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Let's commiserate on the Mets.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Mets. But yeah, 7-15 looks like, I'm looking at this thing right now. They are definitely the worst in the National League. But to be fair, the National League has been kind of tough. Remember when we were always talking about that NL Central and everything like that? The NL Central is on fire right now.
Okay.
So you got the Reds at 15-8.
I feel like they always start off hot.
So they usually the last few years have started off good. You know what I mean? They're really hot right now because they're 15-8, and for them that's
Would
pretty.
you say they're red hot?
I don't know if they're red hot. Like I gotta look. They won 4 in a row. Let's say they're hot. If they win a couple more in a row, red hot. Because the Dodgers right now are the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, as expected.
16-6, and then right behind them are the Padres at 15-7. So then you got the Reds. And if we go to the other side, no one's even close in the American League, so it won't even bother. But you know what? The Braves are 16-7 too. They've won 6. They might be red hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're a pretty loaded team.
Yeah. Well, last year was just injuries for them. So if they stay healthy this year,
Healthy Acuna.
yeah, they'll stay good. They'll stay competitive. Right now, the Mets are in the cellar, and not too far behind them, which is kind of a shocker to me because they haven't done this in a while. The Phillies are 8-14.
Wow, that's surprising.
Right? So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. So last week we talked about what's our meter for Mendy getting fired.
It's got to be close, right?
I mean, it's at an 8 for me right now. I think depending what happens this week, it's gonna go. And I remember you reported last week that if he goes, Carlos Beltran will come in, which he's just as good as the next guy that they would ask for right now. Again, it's about time someone gives him a chance, let alone the Mets, because he should have had the job a couple of years ago.
With Houston, right?
But to me, I don't know if it's a managerial problem right now. I think it's a player kind of problem. And what's weird is they lost 11 in a row, and nothing has come out. And maybe it's too early. I don't know when guys like to do this. I've never had to do this myself, but I don't know when do you have a players only meeting? You'd think 11 losses in a row would get you a players only meeting.
Right, some kind of action.
Yeah, something, you know what I mean? Someone has got to step up and, rally the troops and, call a spade and be like, we suck, you know what I mean?
Accountability.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're saying that, don't get me wrong. These guys don't want to embarrass themselves either, especially with the price tag some of these guys got, you know what I mean? And I think Soto's supposed to be back tomorrow. He's not playing today, but I think they said he was going to come back tomorrow, which is huge for them because they could use his bat for sure in the lineup, especially over the weekend with the Cubbies. They lost some close games, and it was a shame too because the 2 guys that they stole from the Yankees, when they started out kind of good, maybe the first week, but since they've been terrible, Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, they're pitching to 19 and 11 or 12 ERA as of right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know how I felt about Williams, so as advertised, I guess.
Yeah, listen. He was a trade to the Yankees, so I could care less about him. He was dog shit with us, so I felt like he was gonna be dog shit with you. I liked Luke Weaver. He was one of those pieces. I think where'd they get him from? Was it Cincinnati? It might have been Cincinnati. I'll say Cincinnati right now until proven wrong, or someone mentions it to me that I'm wrong. But either which way, he was a guy that wasn't that good. He was solid for the Yankees for 2 years. I just think he had a little bit of issues last year. I thought he could have been a good piece for the Mets, and you know what? He still could. With relievers, their numbers get blown out of proportion because you have one bad start, you only pitch an inning, and it blows it up. Yeah. So, he could roll off a stretch of 8 scoreless innings, and you bring that all the way down back to earth, and then he could have a decent year. So hopefully he can rebound for the Mets. Hopefully he can get it going tonight and get a win because it's starting to get embarrassing.
Yeah, it's desperation time.
They haven't lost 11 in a row since 2004.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And I saw this cool thing. I wish I had took a screenshot or sent it to you guys. I forgot yesterday, but they gave you on Instagram a like a little poster of all the teams and when was the last time they had 11 game losing streak. Would you care to guess who hasn't had 11 game losing streak the longest?
In baseball?
Yeah, just in baseball. It's all 30 teams, and they give you each year they did it. So who would be the one that hasn't had it? Close.
San Diego?
No. You were closer with the Dodgers. I can't really give you a hint because it'd be too easy.
Angels?
No.
No, Angels probably have a bunch of them.
Yeah. they're I think theirs was like 3 years ago. 3 seconds.
I don't know.
Yankees.
Oh yeah. Well,
Last time they did it.
Honestly, that would have been my first guess, but I thought it would be too obvious.
No, you'd have been spot on. I think it was 1913 was the last time they did that.
Wow.
Which was probably like a year or two, a couple years before they got Babe Ruth. Wait, did they get Babe Ruth? Either which way, they were pretty crappy back then. But yeah, so with all that being said, Mets not looking good. Nobody's hitting right now. Just not a lot of positive news. I'm interested to see, like, they got McLean on the mound tonight, so that's a good thing for them.
Right.
Do we know how Freddie Peralta's been doing? Because he's had to pitch twice, and I don't think he took the losses in both those games, did he?
Well, I mean, I know he pitched opening day, right?
Yeah. Trying to see. Yeah, Mets.
So what's he had? Two starts since then?
Yeah, I mean, it would in that 10 games, I would assume he's had a couple starts in the 11 games. So he's 1-2 in his last 7 games with a 4 ERA basically. That doesn't really help. So for the year he's 1-2, 4.05.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So not great. You know. But he's given you length the last 2 times.
Right. Probably help if they hit a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? You're not kidding because he's only got, I'm looking at his last 3 starts, and he pitched into the 5th and gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. That should normally get you pretty much a win. You know what I mean? He almost made it through 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like we're back to Santana and DeGrom again.
Yeah. Yep. And then against the Athletics, he pitched 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. And then the Cubbies, 5.2, 3 hits and 3 earned runs. His walks are a little high. He's averaging like 2.5 each game, so that's a little high. But not terrible. You know, he could easily be 2-1 or 2-0 right now if it wasn't for the Mets' lack of hitting. But yeah, not great. You know, they're gonna have to figure it out. I think I skipped around, but the NL Central is the only division that doesn't have a losing team in their division. They're all 12-9 or better. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, the Pirates are 13-9 right now. They're another team that gets off to a decent start, and then at some point they just collapse, and then they're garbage the rest of the year. So it'll be good to see for them. You know what I mean? Now, if we were to skip over to across town and go to the big brother, the Yankees, they had a great weekend. And you know what? Like, the week didn't start off that great. They played the Angels, and you know, Mike Trout is finally healthy, and Mike Trout was crushing the baseball in the Bronx. He hit 5 home runs in 4 games, wow, which is something a visiting player has never done against the Yankees. And there were really no cheapies. Like, he hit bombs. The Yankees starting pitchers in that series did not really do well. And then even when they did okay, the bullpen didn't help them out. The Yankees won 2 of the 4 of those games. They could have easily lost all 4. They could have easily won 3 out of the 4. because the second game, the Yankees didn't hit and the Angels hit and they lost 7-1. But the other 3 games they could have easily won, and 2 out of the 3 they won pretty much on walk-off fashion in the bottom of the ninth. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, one was like a wild pitch, and the other one was a double that cleared the bases for Caballero, which was a crazy inning for the Angels because they brought in their closer. I forget the guy's name, but he blew the save on Monday night. So now fast forward to Wednesday, and he's got another save opportunity. The Yankees are down by 1, and Giancarlo's up, and he smokes a ball to left field. And if he just got it up a little higher, it would have been a home run. Game would have been tied. But this guy in left field, I forget his name, but he made a fantastic jumping catch and was all amped up. Then they get the second out. Forget who was up after him. Maybe at the time it was Ben Rice, not 100% sure. But then you have Jazz up, and he's still looking for, a home run and some good at-bats, and he didn't get it here. He pops up in the infield at shortstop, and there was, I guess, both of them calling for it. They dropped the ball. He steals second. Austin Wells was up next. He winds up walking. They double steal to second and third, I believe. Nope, I'm mistaken. Rewind. It was first and second. Caballero's up. He has a hell of an at-bat. Then he smokes a ball into the alley in left center. They wind up getting it. Jazz scores easily, but I guess on the pitch, Austin Wells, it was like almost like a hit and run. He was going. So he was already at second, and they waved him home, and he literally was safe with the winning run by a toe.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they challenged it and everything, and it was confirmed. Like literally, like the toe got in, and the tag was on his foot, like on the back end of his foot. Like if he didn't put his foot down on the bag, he'd have been out, and maybe they would have won or not. But it was insane sending him for that. But it was 2 outs, so like you take that chance to win the game. It worked in the Yankees' favor, and then the Yankees fell short on Thursday. Then they had a reset. They played the Royals 3 games and pretty much looked like they were, the Royals were overmatched. The Yankees did their thing. Right now, the Yankees have the best 2 power hitters in baseball right now, with Aaron Judge obviously being one of them with 9 home runs. And surprisingly or not surprisingly, depending on how you want to look at it, Ben Rice has 8 home runs already this year.
Wow.
Which is awesome. Now, some guys would have said he was going to take that leap this year because of the bad luck he had last year. But he's been really solid.
He's really cooking, huh?
Yeah, bro, and he hasn't even played every day yet, really. So, like, for him to get up there and he's got 8 home runs. I think he's got almost 20 RBIs. He's not just hitting the ball for power. He's hitting the ball all over the place, which is good. And hopefully he can sustain that throughout the season, because that would give Judge some really good protection behind him. You know what I mean? Cody Bellinger got it going this weekend. I think he had a 2 home run game. I forget which game it was. So they're starting to come around, which is great. They're now 13-9. They're in first place by a game. Should have been more, because they shouldn't have lost the games that they lost the week before. But it's all right. Regroup, long season, whatever. But let's keep it going. They play the Boston Red Sox tonight at 6:30.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So kind of crazy.
How's Boston doing this year?
Not great. That's what I'm worried about. They're 9-13. So I want to take 2 out of 3, if not all 3. Like we should go in there. I think tonight is yes sir. You got Gill versus Early tonight, then Fried versus Suarez, and then I think Schlittler is pitching the last game. So I'm really hoping they can knock out 2 out of 3. I really want to keep Boston down. Let's keep Boston down. Yeah. So Schlittler is on the 23rd. What day is the 23rd? Thursday. So really want to keep them down. I would love to sweep them and keep our win streak going because these games against the AL East guys are extremely important. So I don't want them to do what they did last year and they lost a lot of these games. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I'm going to watch the games tonight for a little bit at least and go from there. And we'll see how all that pans out. You know what I mean? The draft.
That's baseball, Susan?
Yeah, that's it. That's baseball, Susan. Or Wonder. We're going to steal that from her now because she's probably not going to be doing the broadcast that much anymore soon.
Right.
I'm assuming she's going to be in retirement mode.
I don't think she'll mind.
No, I don't think she'll mind at all. She's a nice lady. By the way, I love her 4th of July like vest that she wears for the 4th of July. Very fancy, very patriotic. But speaking of which, do you remember the video of John Sterling getting hit by the baseball?
Oh yeah, how can I forget, dude? I can watch that like all day.
Bro, it came up randomly on Instagram, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, how does this come out of nowhere? I'm like, and you're right. I immediately started laughing.
Like 10 times.
And once I saw it, I immediately started laughing because I knew it was coming, and I couldn't stop laughing my ass off. Oh my god, it was so freaking funny.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, for sure.
Thanks, John.
Yep, for sure. I'm sure he's enjoying his retirement. That's for sure. But yeah, anyway, the NFL draft is this Thursday.
Oh, it's this week.
This week,
Wow.
this Thursday.
I was wondering why I've been seeing so much coverage.
Yeah. It's literally 50 hours away. So, I mean, I'm gonna watch the first round, and then I think I'm gonna call it quits after that, and then just read up on it. But I'm excited to see what both the Giants do and the Jets because the Jets aren't the only New York team now that have 2 picks in the first round. I think that happened over the weekend. Is the Giants traded away Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals of all teams and got their 10th pick in the draft. So now the Giants have the 5th and the 10th pick in the first round, which is awesome. Now, you know, everyone's saying it was a steal. I'm also one of those people because how on earth do you get a 10th pick in the draft this year for a guy that had a half a sack last year? Now, granted,
Seems like a bargain.
yeah, granted, last year he was hurt, but, you know, or like maybe the year before he was still nursing it, but either which way, he hasn't done much last year, and I get it, the Bengals lost their guy, I think it's to the Ravens, that guy Hendrickson,
Right.
so they're looking for defense, but I'm pretty sure you could have got somebody in the 10th pick that would have been pretty damn good for you defensively. But to each his own. They gave it away. They got a guy who hopefully will play better for them than he did with the Giants, and they'll go from there. You know, I'm not really going to speculate on who's picking who and whatever and this and that, so we'll just wait till next week to see how our teams did. I'm sure the guys that you know, do the mock drafts and all this stuff and do the draft shows, we'll give them grades and I'll be able to read them and see where it goes from there. But yeah, you know, other than that, it's business as usual with all these sports. So I heard while you were on the plane to Florida, you watched some movies. So is it anything recent?
I did. The first thing I watched, the title keeps escaping me, but it's the Will Arnett movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
He does stand up.
No.
It's really good. Let's see.
He's a stand-up comedian in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
He was recently in the show. I
Is
forget.
this thing on?
Okay.
I saw the trailer, I guess months ago when it came out, and I said, "Damn, that looks pretty good." So I got to watch it on the plane, and it did not disappoint.
Oh, good.
He plays like a guy who's having like, some ups and downs in his marriage, or he's getting it's not going well. He's kind of like separated, and I guess as an outlet, he just starts doing stand up, and it's just he's great in it. Laura Dern plays his wife. She's good in it as well. It's just a good cast. Bradley Cooper, I think, is his friend. There's some comedians in it, of course, to add some authenticity. But I just thought he's great in it. I'm a big fan of his.
I like him too.
From Arrested Development alone. But yeah, I just thought it was really well done. So highly recommend that one.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
What was the other movie you watched?
And then on the way back, I watched Nobody 2. It
Oh.
was good. A lot of action. It kind of felt more like an action movie than the first one.
Right.
I mean, I like the first one better, but this one was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. Some of the stuff they did towards the end was a little outlandish, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a bit overboard in this one, for sure. But, I mean, I guess that's like, they were having fun with it.
Right, of course. And it was good. It was entertaining, which
exactly.
Which is ultimately what you want.
Yep. What about you? What have you been looking at, putting your eyes on?
So I saw a couple movies this week and a couple shows this week.
Okay. What do you want to start with?
I don't know. So, did you see 28 Years Later?
Yeah.
Did you see the new movie on Netflix?
It's streaming now?
Yeah, The Bone Temple.
Oh, damn. I can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
Awesome.
I'm definitely hyped for that.
Really
It
good.
came out this past week.
I think it's been on Netflix for almost a month now.
Wow.
Because
Who knew?
I should have told you because I've seen it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I gotta watch this,
Yeah.
and finally this weekend I watched it.
Right.
Because I was up late, and I was like, you know what, I'll watch this. It wasn't that long. It was like an hour and 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think it was in the theater very long.
No, it wasn't, and I think that's why Netflix took it and put it on there because they felt like a lot of people are gonna watch it on Netflix.
Right, and they had the one before.
Yeah,
too.
of course. I think they have all the movies, but whichever one the second one was, 28 weeks later, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I never see on there, which is weird to me. Because if you're gonna put the first one on and then the third one, and then eventually the newest one, why don't you have the second one? It must be like some kind of copyright thing or whatever it is, but it's just silly to me. But either which way, because that's I rewatched them to see these movies. So I watched the first one. I'm like, oh, okay, and I scoured for the second one, and then finally I gave up. I'm like, I could only
What
write
year
this.
is the first one? Like
It was
2001?
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
We gotta look into it, but it was a while ago. But yeah, great movie.
Nice.
Then I saw the new Super Mario movie on.
Oh, how was that?
On that. Well, if you love Nintendo and you love Super Mario, you're gonna love this movie.
Cool. Yeah, I like the first one. I mean.
Yeah, it was just like the first one, just with some new characters and everything like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, 2 years from now, there's a Super Mario World instead of Galaxy or whatever, and they put more characters in there and open it up a little bit more. But that was another good one.
Nice.
And then I fell on a movie. I was trying to look for Thrash. And
the
Shark movie. I haven't watched that yet.
On Netflix?
Yes. But I was on Prime because I started watching Invincible.
Nice.
The 4th season.
Oh, there's a new season.
Yeah, and it's all out now. So if you're caught up to this season, you could just binge right through it. So far, I'm on the middle of the 5th episode. So good.
Awesome.
Really good show.
Yeah, I definitely have to get back into that. I'm like way behind.
Yeah, well, you're way behind a couple different things.
You're not lying.
You got to figure some things out. You know what I mean? Because you only got a couple, maybe it's 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks, give or take a day or two, until the new Punisher special episode comes out on Disney.
Yeah.
And Daredevil is tonight, and it's winding down. And I gotta say, the last episode for Daredevil wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
I understand why it wasn't. There was more, not character building, but maybe some foreshadowing and
I see.
some flashbacks to give you some insight on certain things.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it for you because you're so behind in that.
Right.
But you really need to catch up with some of these things, please.
I do.
Because I really just genuinely want to have a conversation with you with it.
No,
You're killing me.
You're right.
I'm gonna ask this, but I already know the answer. Have you watched The Boys yet?
No, I have not.
Good, because I haven't either.
Okay.
All right.
We still got that.
At least we got that going. And then there's another new show. I don't know if I put you onto it or not. From? Do you remember From?
Yeah, I remember From. I've only seen I think the first 2 seasons because I got a little pissed off when after like the second season I still had like 0 answers.
That's the whole point of the show. That's what's great. It keeps throwing you for curves.
Listen, it's probably a good show, but that's just how I felt at that time, and maybe I'll go back to it one day.
And you're done. You're done with it. You're done with it.
No, it's just if I invest 2 seasons, I want just give me a little something. Shit.
Well, you probably should have saw season 3 because they would have gave you a little something in season 3.
All right,
just a little something.
Maybe there's
but
still time.
Their new season just came out this weekend. I didn't watch that either because it's only 1 episode, and
we're gonna let it build up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that build up. Like that and The Boys. I'll get those built up because I actually have a decent list from us talking about shows that I could watch in the meantime.
Right.
And I also had to finish The Pitt, which their final episode was last week for the season.
This is first season?
Season 2.
Season 2.
I know Ernie loves it. I'll talk more about it next week.
Apparently everybody loves it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a bad thing about it. Only people that enjoyed it.
You know what it is? You saw The Wire, right?
Yeah, my favorite show.
Okay, perfect. So that show to me is like the most realistic police show.
Right.
That's exactly what The Pitt is.
For hospital.
For like doctors, hospitals, and like the ER or whatever.
Right.
And people seem to love it because it's so realistic,
Right.
and they did their due diligence with I guess whatever homework they had to do or whoever they had to talk to.
Put the time in.
Correct. So it was good. I give the season as a whole an A.
Okay.
But I give the last episode a C.
Huh.
Yeah, I
So
really didn't like.
You were disappointed with the finale.
Yeah, kind of. Like it didn't answer really much. And I guess it's part of the social media thing nowadays. Like they just throw so much out there that when you get into the show and then you watch the episode, you're like, well, I thought there was gonna be more here.
Right.
You know.
Expectations are
right
altered from the interwebs.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got as far as what I've watched the last week or so.
You still watching Boardwalk?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, I just finished season 3 yesterday.
Wow.
So I got 2 more left. I got 20 episodes to go. Great.
Yeah.
You know who my favorite character is?
I'm not sure.
Good answer. Richard or Rich.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last week. Yeah, with the
half face. Yeah.
It's just a great character.
Like Two-Face. He might well be their version of Two-Face.
Yeah, I was at the bar and I had mentioned to Rory that you were watching it, and he brought up that Richard, and it's just such a great character, like just a cool, badass character.
And I'm so invested right now. For me, season 3, he was left in no man's land.
Right.
But he had these little bit parts where he had big. They want to be in big deals, right?
Yeah.
And the last episode of the season, he came in buck wild. It was amazing. He went in through that that Pross house that chick owns. I forget her name. I think it was James's mother.
Yeah.
And he just laces all these dudes up from New York, and it was great. I feel bad for him because after that he goes to, I guess, not his girlfriend, but the girl he likes,
right.
And he gives the baby, the kid, to her, and her father comes out and was actually a decent human being for once. He wasn't a drunk asshole, and he's just go in the house, put him in the room, let him go to sleep.
Yeah.
He knows he's been through a lot or whatever, and then he tells the guy, I forget what he told him, but something to the effect get in here or whatever. And he's like, no, just take care of the kid. I'm gonna go. And I know he'll be back because you don't give him that. You don't keep him around in season 3 with these small little spot scenes to not have him be important in the next season at least.
Right.
So I can't wait to see season 4. Hopefully I can get that started tonight because
nice.
I'm pumped.
Yeah. Great show.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so glad I actually took your guys' advice and sat down and actually started watching it, I got real into it. So it's cool. But yeah, I think I touched everything on this list right here. You have anything else?
No, I guess I'll just close it out with the one musical selection as usual. This week we're going with, this is an older album, Burial with Untrue. That's the pick for this week.
Awesome, dude. Well, that'll about do it for us today. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully it gets a little warmer for us and we don't have such a terrible weekend. And yeah, we'll see you next week, guys. Have fun.
We'll see you in the next cartoon.
There you go.